Hello, my name is Daniel Garcia. I worked alone on my presentation, and my topic is biochemistry and carbohydrates. So, without further ado, I'd like to begin. First of all, I would like to talk about what carbs are exactly. Now, carbohydrates are the most abundant biomolecule on the planet. They serve as a major source of energy and structure to all living organisms, be it animal, plant, or human, such as ourselves. And they are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms with a molar ratio of 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen, and 1 oxygen. And they are found as well. They are found within our DNA as the ribose and within a plant cell as the cell wall. Now, there are four main kinds of carbohydrates. We have the monosaccharides, the disaccharides, the oligosaccharides, and the polysaccharides. Now, the monosaccharides are the basically the building blocks for the rest of them. For the disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. These are your simple one-off sort of molecules of a given kind of like sugar. For example, this right here is a glucose monosaccharide. It's a glucose molecule, and this is just the simple, you know, one molecule of a given sugar. And then a disaccharide is two of them fused together. As you can see, we have one glucose and one fructose. These could be, glucose and glucose, or fructose and fructose, or galactose and galactose, or any combination of those three. But as long as it's just two monosaccharides linked together with a glycosidic bond, then it is a disaccharide. And then moving on to oligosaccharides, very similar to the disaccharides, aside from the fact that there's just more links between monosaccharides. A oligosaccharide typically has like around 20-ish monosaccharides all linked together. It doesn't typically go further than that, and yeah. And then lastly, fourth and finally, we have the polysaccharides, which polysaccharides are thousands of monosaccharides linked together, and these are what make up most of the carbohydrates that occur naturally in the world. They can be, as you can see from this little image on the bottom here, they can have these branches coming off of them, which don't always occur, because when they are branched, they typically have different kinds of glycosidic bonds attaching them. However, if it's made with one glycosidic bond, it will not have any branches. As well, there are also homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides, and as you may be able to tell from the name, homopolysaccharides are polysaccharides made entirely of one kind of monosaccharide. So, for example, all glucose or all fructose, while heteropolysaccharides are made up of several kinds of monosaccharides. So this part could be glucose, this part could be fructose, and this part could be galactose. Now, the way our body processes carbs is that when we eat something that has carbohydrates, so for example, a slice of bread, the carbohydrates in that slice of bread or in that loaf or in whatever you're eating are broken down into their sugar molecules, into the monosaccharides, and then your body produces a hormone that is called insulin, which takes the sugar from the from the takes the sugar that is now within your bloodstream and converts it into energy to either store for later or use now. Now, the reason why I have diabetes listed up here is because diabetic people are actually, well, at least type 1 diabetic people are unable to produce their own insulin, and as such, they need to get their insulin from an external source, be it injection or by a pump. I myself am a type 1 diabetic, and I have to get my insulin from a pump. And type 2 diabetics are in a similar situation, except for the fact that their bodies are still producing small amounts of insulin, but they still need to take it take extra amounts of insulin. Now, carbohydrates and their effect on the economy is very interesting because the average American eats 225 to 325 carbs in a day. However, dieting in more recent years has become more popular, with the keto diet being a sort of shining example of a low carb diet and is fairly popular with certain diabetic people as well as a result. So, in conclusion, thank you for watching my presentation. I hope I was able to do a satisfactory job of presenting this information, and thank you for your time.